Okay, this video is going to teach you about multiplication and division of fractions. We're going to cover multiplication first, and division builds off what you learned in multiplication. For multiplication, you make any mixed numbers improper, whole numbers you put over 1, and then cross-simplify if you'd like. That's an optional step, but it does make it easier in the end. And then you multiply your numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator, and put your answer in simplest form. So let's take a really simple example here first. 2/3 times 1/2, okay? Then all you have to do is multiply 2 times 1, the numerator times the numerator, you would get 2, and then denominator times denominator, 3 times 2 is 6. Reduce this if you can, and we can divide the top and the bottom by 2 and get 1/3 as our final answer. Some people get really confused. They say, well, how come you end up with something small? The easiest way for me to explain it really quickly here, hopefully this isn't confusing, clearer than mud. If I have 2/3 of something, and I were to multiply it by 1, it stays exactly the same. If I multiply it by anything larger, it gets bigger. For example, if I multiply it by 2, then I would have 4/3. But when I'm multiplying it by a fraction which is less than 1, it actually becomes smaller. So I'm saying I have 2/3, and I want half of it, or I'm multiplying by half. How much do I have then? 1/3. That may be something that makes sense to you. If not, just follow the rules and trust me, it works. All right, next, let's try something like this. If I give you a -2 1/5 times 2 1/2. Now we know that our answer is going to be negative because we have a negative times a positive. So I'm going to ignore the signs for now and just follow my steps. Make the mixed numbers improper. All right, 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11 over 5. Be very careful here. A lot of students, very common student mistake here is to look at this. All right, this is 5 times a -2. It's a -10 plus a +1. They put 9 up here, or a -9. Don't do that, okay? When you're converting this and making it improper, completely ignore the sign of the number. Okay, as if it's not there. You could even cover it up or erase it like that. All right, the next one, then it would be times, this one would become 5/2. Now this time I'm going to show you the cross simplifying. I didn't show it to you in the one up here. Okay, I could have done it, but I didn't. And here I'm going to show you. What you do is you look diagonally. So if I look diagonally this way and this way, I say, all right, from one denominator to the other numerator, is there anything that goes into both of those? Well, yeah, 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 5 once up here. There's nothing that goes into 11 and 2, so I can't do anything with that. And now we do 11 times 1 and get 11. And then 1, this number down here, times this 2 and get 2. Then you say, all right, well, 2 goes into 11 5 times. There is 1 left over, and denominator remains the same. And again, this has to be negative because we said it would be negative. Now, the other way to do this, 11 over 5 times 8 over 2. Oops, that was 5 over 2. If this doesn't make sense to you, what I just did, and sometimes it takes a little bit working with it, then what you would do is you would multiply straight across. 11 times 5 is 55 over 5 times 2, which is 10. This then becomes 5 5/10, which is 5 1/2, negative. Okay, that's the other way to do it. It's completely up to you. It's a preference. I like cross simplifying though. Once you get the hang of it, it really is easier. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of samples for you to try. Here is 5/6 times a -1 3/8. Some students get confused here. So like, well, is that multiplication or is that subtraction? If the number is right next to the parenthesis and there's no operation in between it, addition or subtraction, that's how you know it's multiplication. What we're doing is we're separating that negative sign. All right, and the next one, -5 1/3 times -1 1/8. So go ahead and pause the video and try and do these yourself, and then play it to see if you get it correct. All right, the first one, this becomes 5/6. Again, I'm going to ignore the sign here. times 11 over 8. There's no cross simplifying that I could do, so 5 times 11 is 55, over 6 times 8 is 48. This is 1 and 7 over 48. The signs are different, so my answer is negative. The next one, this first one becomes 16 over 3. Again, I'm ignoring the sign for now. And this one becomes 9 over 8. All right. Now, I can cross simplify here. So 3 goes into itself once. 3 goes into here 3 times. Diagonally this way, 8 goes into itself once. 8 goes into 16 2 times. Then 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Then, in other words, the answer is 6. My signs are the same, so the answer is positive. Or, what you could have done, 16 over 3, if you don't like the cross simplifying, this will work as well. You could do 16 times 9 is 144, over 3 times 8, 24. And then 24 goes into 144 6 times. Either way it works. All right, moving on to division. To divide, make your mixed numbers improper again. And now what you're going to do is you multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second. Yes, I said multiply. So we're going to change the division to multiplication, and we're going to flip the second fraction, and then put your answer in simplest form. So let me give you a quick example. 3 1/2 divided by 2 1/3. First thing I want to do is make them improper. So I have 7 over 2 divided by 7 over 3. Now, be very careful. Common student mistake here is cross simplifying. Do not cross simplify here. You cannot do it when it's division. You have to wait until it's multiplication. So the first fraction stays the same. Change this to multiplication. Flip the second fraction. Now if I want to cross simplify, I can. 7 goes into 7 once. 7 goes into 7 once. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. This is equal to 1 1/2. Okay, remember that one step, that not cross simplifying when it's division. Common student mistake. Okay, 2 more samples for you to try. -6 divided by 1 1/2, and -2/7 divided by -4 over 21. Pause the video, try those, and then see if you get it correct. Okay, I'm ignoring the sign here. 6 over 1 divided by 3 over 2. Change this to multiplication, flip the second fraction. I could cross simplify it. 3 goes into here once, goes into here twice. Then I have 2 times 2 is 4 over 1. So this is 4. The signs are different. The answer is negative. Here, 2/7. Now I'm just going to change this and flip this because there's nothing else I have to do here. Cross simplify. 2 goes into there once, here twice. 7 goes into here once, here 3 times. This becomes 3 over 2, which is 1 1/2. The signs are the same. The answer is positive. That's all, my friends.